What's up, Three Shade family? Today is gonna be My Thoughts Friday. Most of y'all don't know, but yesterday the FBI arrested 4 former and current police officers in the BREONNA Taylor case. I didn't actually find this out until later in the day. The 3 of the officers that were arrested wasn't the ones that were on the crime scene. So my thoughts on that is this was premeditated. Not the murder per se, but the act. To go to someone's house at night and rob them. In my opinion, they should be facing charges as if they were the shooters. Because without them lying to get the search warrant, this whole situation never would have happened. They lied to get the search warrant, which resulted in those officers going to Breonna Taylor's apartment that night, breaking down the door, and essentially shooting and killing them. Now, these 3 officers that wasn't at the crime scene supposedly met in a garage shortly after the whole incident went down to try to get their story straight. So first you lied to get the search warrant, and now you're gonna lie to try to cover up the murder. And the Attorney General, who Daniel Cameron, we could just go ahead and say him, who basically tried to help cover it up because he never presented the charges of murder to the jurors. And that's a fact. There's jurors that came out and said that they were never even presented with that information or that option to charge those officers. In my opinion, lock them all up. The judge who signed the warrant, lock her up too. Daniel Cameron, who tried to help cover it up, lock him up too. Who else? Whoever else out there that had some part in it. People saying the mayor, I don't know if he did, but if he did, lock him up too. If it hadn't been for the female officer pleading guilty to conspiracy, we wouldn't know all this information. But it's been obviously weighing on her since the incident happened. So now she's telling it all. Met in a garage, parking garage. Not a regular garage. Parking garage. To think of how y'all gonna get y'all stories on the same page to cover up a murder where you essentially tried to go rob people of money that was not found at the crime scene. See, in Louisville, they got undercover officers going around and informants telling them where the big drug areas are, where money is being stashed. And that's how this whole incident happened. Someone suspected of there being cash and or drugs at her home because of someone that she used to deal with in the past who was locked up. At the time of the incident, he actually wasn't locked up. They found him 20, 30 minutes before they went to her house. So if that's the person that you said that you were essentially looking for, why are you going to her house? You already found the guy you're looking for. My thoughts is you knew what you were doing. You were going to rob. See what you can find. We already know that you don't turn in half the money that you find or confiscate from people you arrest. That's a known fact in Louisville. You can YouTube. There's many people that came out and said that they've been arrested and money was taken from them, and then the money was never returned to them when they were released from jail. The officers say they only had $1,000 on them when the person may have had $5,000 on them. What happened to the rest of that money? What happened to the other $4,000? Huh? Just got off. Just went and grabbed me something to eat. If y'all don't know nothing about Louisville, man, we got some food in here. We got some food down here. Went to this little spot called Sharks. Seafood and chicken. Today I got me a 6-piece wing, fries, and some hush puppies. They come with coleslaw, but you know, you can't eat everybody coleslaw. But the chicken and the fish, yeah, that should be banging. The fries I ate too. On the way back to the crib now. Done started raining. I done got my flip-flops on now. So hopefully by the time I get home, it ain't raining no more. As soon as I said that, it started raining hard. That's crazy. That's crazy. See, what people fail to realize is police officers and people in those positions, they know that a lot of black people don't use banks. If you don't use a bank, that means you have a lot of cash on hand somewhere in your house. If them as officers realize that or see that, that's how they get the whole idea of this situation. But as the evidence came out, no money or drugs was ever found in the home on the night that they broke in. And if you're going to do a search warrant on a home, why did you not inform other officers? The SWAT team was performing a search warrant at the same time, probably like 3 blocks down the road. And that's where they found the guy that they were looking for. There's video evidence from the SWAT team's cams that shows someone coming over the radio saying that they needed backup 3 blocks down the street, someone's been shot, a police officer. One of the SWAT guys, he was unaware that they were even doing a search warrant down the street because you're not supposed to. How are you going to provide backup if your backup is not available? It's another reason you know that this is a setup. They tried to hide it, didn't want people to know. The only ones that knew about it was the officers that were on the scene. Think about it. If I'm a police officer and I'm doing a search warrant, I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna be able to call for some backup. Unless I'm trying to do something illegal that I'm not supposed to be doing and I don't want other people to know. That's when you do that. That's how I know that it was a whole setup. But they got 4 officers right now. I'm just waiting to see how many more people they go after. Because they ain't the big dogs. There's people above them. The chief of police, he resigned shortly after the whole incident. Guarantee he's involved. Go after him. Investigate him. We're going to see how deep this gets. This is just the beginning, though.